My friends, I hate to say I told you so. Oh, who am I kidding? I love to say I told you so. And I told you so that last night's Democrat debacle would be a clown show, and it was. Full disclosure, I couldn't get through more than a few minutes of it, but I've read about it today. Everything was free. In other words, they want to buy votes. They want to buy votes by promising things they can't possibly deliver. Item. From Breitbart. Neither debate moderators nor fellow candidates challenged Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren on her false Native American ancestry claims during Wednesday night's 2-hour Democrat debate. Not once did the history of Warren's false statements on her now debunked Native American ancestry come up during the 2-hour face-off. While Warren's proponents argued that the debate was policy-oriented, critics point to Chuck Todd's question aimed towards Representative Tulsi Gabbard on her past controversial position on gay rights. Stop. So there you are. The whole thing was a fake. Chuck Todd, Rachel Madcow, and the others are all hard lefts, all liberal. They didn't want to make anybody look bad. And so the one central question you must ask Liawatha or Faux-Cahontas, depending on where you live. Why did you lie? How did you think you can get away with it? Were you completely moronic in taking and then publicizing a DNA test? No one asked that question, and that exposes the falsity of the entire event. They were throwing questions that were easy to answer. They weren't asking the hard questions. Elizabeth Warren should be nailed. Not only for being as stupid as she is, not only for cultural appropriation, not only for fraud, but for being absolutely brainless enough to take it out in public and be shown to be a complete laughingstock. And nobody asked her, and that tells you what kind of quote-unquote journalists were running that debate. Related item from Breitbart. Meet the Press moderator Chuck Todd managed to speak more words during Wednesday night's Democrat debate than 7 of the actual candidates. What makes this feat even more impressive is that while all 10 candidates were on the stage for the full 2 hours, Todd managed to top 7 of them during a single hour of moderating. Chuck Todd gets a really good salary for being a whore. As does Rachel Madcow, as do all the idiots that you see on TV on CNN and MSNBC. They get paid very well, and like any whore out in the street, they'll do anything for that paycheck. The debate was a farce and a fiasco. Not one person on that stage has any idea or any inclination to do anything that will help America. They want to give away free health care. They want to give away free college. They want reparations paid to blacks, reparations paid to same-sex couples. They want to tax the hell out of corporations and the rich. Folks, I've seen the numbers, and so have you. If you tax the absolute crap out of all the billionaires and all the corporations, you would be left with a burnt toast playing field, and we wouldn't be very much closer to solving our debt problems. It was a confederacy of dunces. It's a bunch of idiots making noises, sounding like political candidates, but really being jokers. Beto O'Rourke, based on what I've read, came out the most pathetic. He's finished. He's done. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't there some radio talk show host? I don't remember his name. He's a really sharp guy. Didn't he say Beto was a joke months ago? I'm sorry, that was me. How immodest of me. He is a joke. And for some reason, whatever happens in the world, someone places a microphone in front of the face of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to find out what she thinks, as if she actually does think. There's another debate on tonight. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. It's going to be even more stupid. Biden will be there. Oh, man. I'll tell you, this country has really been brought low by Democrats. Now, here's something I saw on TV today. Nothing to do with the debates, but I think it's interesting anyway. You know, I like to present obscenities to you. So here's a list of obscenities. General Motors last year earned $11.8 billion in profit, but got a tax refund from the American taxpayers of $104 million. Goodyear Tire, $693 million profit, got a $15 million tax refund. Netflix, $845 million profit, $22 million tax refund. Xerox, $957 million profit, $303 million tax refund. And here's the whopper of them all, Amazon, $5.6 billion profit last year, and they got a tax refund of $137 million. Now, I told you this next item was going to be obscene. I don't know what you're expecting to hear. I don't talk like that, but this is obscenity. Corporations getting unbelievably, spellbindingly rich on the American people, refusing to help the American people, refusing to pay what is a fair share of taxes. Now, I know they've got tax lawyers at the wazoo, and they're taking advantage of all the loopholes, and so the law says they get all these big fat refunds. Well, that's the law crafted by politicians and lawyers and politicians who are lawyers, and so the law here and all the loopholes suck. They're borderline treasonous. The loopholes need to be closed, and companies making hundreds of millions of dollars, as much as $6 billion in profit, not revenue, but profit, should certainly be coughing up tax dollars. Call me and tell me what you think about this or about the debate, 877-254-7524. Whatever's on your mind, call me and tell me. I hope you're as hot as I am, because there are only so many outrages this country can stand. And I think we're over the limit already. 877-254-7524. Call me and talk to me. Vent if you like, even if you don't like. This is Real Truth. My name is Howard Real. Stay tuned. We got lots more.
Tax season, traffic, bills, or just plain cabin fever. Come fly fish the North Platte River and trout chicken outfit. Hi, Brian here, the trout chicken outfit. 970-460-8873 or visit our website at troutchicken.com. Servicing the whole North Platte River from Pumpkin Canyon to Cat. Pumpkin Canyon is directed by looking at the intersection of the river. 4 hours north of Denver and 1 hour west of Denver. Book a trip at troutchicken.com or call us at 970-460-8873. Very beginner friendly, approximately 8 hours on a trip from the South Phoenix North Platte River. Prices include mid-season flyers, all gear, funded for 2 anglers. Call about discounts for beds and children from the age of 16. Are you staring out the window daydreaming about spring, your lush green yard and backyard barbecue? Well, don't blink. Before you know it, you'll be knee-high in grass. Don't let the HOA come pounding on your door. Don't be that guy. Call Turf Tamers Landscaping at 970-460-TURF or visit our website at turftamerslandscaping.com. We will get your yard in tip-top shape. Specializing in maintenance and install commercial and residential properties, we pride ourselves in our clean-cut and approachable crew for efficiently and quickly detailing your property. Visit our website at turftamerslandscaping.com. Our install crew can transform your backyard into the outdoor living space you always dreamed of. Call me, Brian, at 970-460-TURF for a free walkthrough and estimate where we can meet and discuss the best options for your landscaping needs. Family owned and locally operated, we've been serving Northern Colorado for over 18 years. Thank you for your support and supporting KHNC.
All right, guys, welcome back to Real Truth. I am Howard Real. Have you got your copy yet of my book, Real Truth, Stay Angry? Because if you haven't, you're going to feel terrible about yourself. You know, what really runs this world is what's behind the scenes, not what we see. It's the power brokers behind the scenes, and that's what my book goes into in over 500, nearly 600 pages of length. Never boring, always fascinating. Real Truth, Stay Angry. Go to virtualbookworm.com and get it. Now, so you've heard what I had to say about last night's clown show, Democrats. Here's Marco Rubio saying the Democrats have no solutions either in English or Spanish. And the reason he's saying it is because a couple of the candidates, 2 or 3 of them, thought they'd be smart guys and decided to speak in Spanish. Great. That really makes them qualified to be president. Here's Marco Rubio on Fox News. Stop. Stop. We need an emergency spending bill to take care of the people who've come into our country illegally. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me for a second. Why don't we prevent people from coming into this country so that A, we don't have to pay for them, B, we don't pay for them and still hear that they hate our guts, and C, we don't have people endangering children? Why don't we make it clear to the whole world that you ain't getting in here illegally? Hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to take care of illegals, criminals who come here, foist themselves upon us, and then insist that we take care of them. My friends, that shows you exactly and precisely how backwards Congress is. Instead of fixing a problem, they keep ratcheting up the amount of money they're spending on the problem that they could have fixed. They could fix it today if they wanted to. And hold on one second. They'd better hurry and get it fixed because they're going to be leaving on vacation soon. All these millionaires and billionaires who work only a handful of days a year, you don't get between them and their vacation because they will leave footprints on the back of your neck. Congress is a disgrace. Common sense tells you what to do about illegal immigration. All you need is a desire to fix it, and apparently no one but Donald Trump does. All right, guys, that's your cue.
President in there. Meanwhile, there's a bipartisan bill that's passed the Senate. So what's going to happen next before you guys leave town?
Yeah, I know this is pretty elementary, but in order to make a bill pass, you got to have it pass identical in the House and Senate, and the president will sign it. The only bill that meets that criteria is the bipartisan bill that we passed out of the Senate. Now, understand we have some people out there in the House and a few in the Senate, a few on that stage last night or tonight, who are basically criticizing the administration for not treating the people and the children who are being held appropriately. But at the same time, they're saying, oh, and by the way, we're not going to give you any more money to treat them better. So it's an incredibly hypocritical position to take.
Yeah, we hate the way you're treating them, but we're not going to give you any more money to treat them. And by the way, it's easy to criticize the American government and Donald Trump. I don't hear any criticism about Mexico or Guatemala or Venezuela or San Salvador or any of those toilets, which are so awful to live in. Their people are scramming out, and they're making no attempt to keep people here. Certainly making no attempt to stop people on their way to enter this country illegally. Where's the criticism there? Where's the criticism from Mexico that didn't get off its ass to help us with this problem until a week or two ago when Donald Trump pressured them? Everybody loves to jump on the United States of America. I like the fact that America is a compassionate country, but my God, there's got to be a limit, and there's got to be some common sense. I can't break into your house and say, hey, feed me. Where am I sleeping tonight? Which television is mine? How many closets do I get? You've got to have a semblance of sanity. Oh, I forgot we're talking about Congress. Never mind.
It's reached the point that even the New York Times is writing editorials about how that's an unsustainable position for Democrats. My hope is that the leadership in the House will realize they can't keep caving to these radical left-wing members and finally pass the bill the Senate has sent over to them so we can provide at least the humanitarian funds.
But Senator, obviously we need money for humanitarian efforts, but why isn't Congress doing anything to address the drivers of illegal immigration?
Well, I wish we could. I mean, it takes 60 votes in the Senate. It takes a majority in the House. They're not interested in
But
it.
why
For
not
example,
push
the
the fight?
asylum laws. Well, we are. We're trying, and we'll try, and we'll keep trying, and we've tried in the past.
By the way, you folks who are planning on voting in 2020, it's the Democrats who will do nothing. Nothing. Let me say it again in case you're having a problem with your phone or with your radio. The Democrats will do nothing to solve the problem of illegal immigration. In fact, they're doing everything they can to make the problem worse, to exacerbate it. So rather than voting Democrat in 2020, why not just withdraw all the money from your bank account, visit a local body of water, and dump it into the water? Because Democrats can do the exact same thing. They're going to take your money and spend it elsewhere on other people who aren't citizens, didn't earn it, and you will be left with fond memories of the money you used to have. Excuse me, hang on, little Marco, hold on. Talking about countries in South and Central America, why are we throwing money at them? Why is it our problem to fix those countries? What on earth makes you think those countries can be fixed? They have been toilets since time immemorial. Why is it my job as an American taxpayer to make Guatemala better or Venezuela better? If anybody has an answer, please call me. 877-254-7524. Marco Rubio speaks as if it's up to us to solve the problems of South and Central America. I think it's up to us to wall ourselves off from South and Central America and wish them good luck in solving their own problems.
Riots right now in Honduras.
Well, hang on one second. If all these countries are, as you say, toilets, if they're economic basket cases, if they can't govern themselves, the people there are pathetic, why on earth do we want them here? Why do we want to bring people like that here? Let them come into the 21st century. Let them govern their countries responsibly. Let them have economies that work. Then they can come here. What the hell do we need welfare cases coming here for?
Laws that are basically inviting
So tell me something. If we're going to decriminalize a crime, why don't we decriminalize other crimes? Should I be... Oh, Marco, shut up. Should I be allowed to walk into a bank and help myself to any cash that's laying around? I mean, as long as we're decriminalizing things, what the hey? What else can we decriminalize? I'd like to, I'm from New York. I grew up with alternate side of the parking. I'd like to be able to park wherever I want. Can we decriminalize illegal parking? Obviously, the idea of decriminalizing this and that is ridiculous on its face. Laws exist for a reason, to accomplish certain things. If you're not going to accomplish them, you're not going to have a very livable country, are you? Well, that's the question, and the answer was on the stage last night. No, we're not going to have laws like that. The Democrats say no, we won't. We're going to have laws that allow anyone who wants to waltz in here with their hand out, and you, yes, you, will pay their way through life. That's what the Democrats want. If you watched the debate last night, you know it. Watch the debate tonight again. You'll hear the same thing. Everybody come on in and don't worry about American taxpayers. We'll pick up the tab.
Argument is, yes, ignore the math.
Well, if the Democrats agree there's a crisis, what changed over the last month? Because a month ago they were saying there was no crisis. So were they brainless and lying then or now?
Whereas the Republicans would like to.
Folks, the primary crisis here, and we're going to be... Oh, shut up, Marco. The primary crisis here, the most important crisis... Oh, Marco, shut up. The most crying need here, the biggest crisis, is not that people are coming illegally. And it's not that there's a humanitarian problem at the border. It's that America no longer has the resolve, the intestinal fortitude, the strength, the integrity to so much as defend itself. America is willing to die. America is willing to cease to exist. People are coming here to stab us in the chest, and we are presenting our chest to them. This says something very fundamental and very sick about the American psyche in 2019. I have no idea how to fix it. I do a radio show 4 days a week in the hopes that maybe I can help to fix it. But if enough Americans want to crash this country, then the country will crash. It's up to you and me to do what we can. So let's do what we can. Right now we can take a commercial break. We'll be back.
Hiring a realtor from a big corporation who outsources their jobs and pays little to no taxes. Ask yourself, what is the point in a realtor? You need a realtor who is honest and has integrity. A realtor who's focused on the client's bottom line, not the realtor's bottom line. Who provides personal, over-the-top service before, during, and after the transaction. You want a realtor that knows how to market your property. Hi, I'm James Morgan, a realtor with Grisham & Associates, LLC. I am your Colorado real estate specialist. Land deals, mountain cabins, or urban dwellings, I've got you covered. For the first-time home buyer, we will make it the best experience. If you are looking to move up or downsizing, we will do better than your last transaction. Call me today at 720-203-0731 or visit coloradoproperties.online. Let me do a great job for you.
I'm Ryan, EMS Mitigator. You worried about 5G wireless cell towers in your area? Would you like to move up your home or office by electromagnetic field over the power line? What about powerful systems that keep your parking? EMS Mitigator answers these questions. Our different entering. We run this measure locating the two limiting man-made electromagnetic field. In 2011, the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified radiation being carcinogens. Other carcinogens with arsenic, lead, and copper. Take control of your exposure by calling EMS Mitigator.
Hey, Howard, you got a caller, Jeff, ready to go.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
All right.
Discover what may be affecting you in your own environment. Call EMS Mitigator today at 970-300-3414. We'll be 24 hours a day at EMSMitigator.com.
Society today is completely dependent on technology. Almost all services we count on, including food, water, and transportation. Computers are operating our power grids against even the cars we drive. In the event of a massive power surge or an electromagnetic pulse in the atmosphere, this could render the country completely helpless. The President has just signed the first executive order to identify problems with critical infrastructure in the USA and prepare the United States in the event of an EMP attack. The power and water may come back on, but your home and all your computer-managed devices may be ruined forever. EMPshield.com has the solution. They offer the world's first whole-home EMP protection device. Made in America, they can protect your home, office, auto, solar, RVs, campers, generators, and the list goes on and on. As a listener to the American Freedom Network, you can enter our call letter KHNC into the order code box and receive additional listener discounts. It pays to listen to KHNC. Go to EMPshield.com and find out.
And we are back. Howard Real, Real Truth. We've got a caller on the line. Jeff, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very well, sir. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I was driving home from work, and I didn't have the stomach to watch the debate last night, so I was listening to a recap on the radio, and I wanted to confirm or point out something I heard. I didn't catch the name of one of the candidates, but what they said when asked the question is that they would make sure to have lots of funds set aside for abortions for transgender.
Correct. Absolutely right.
That's the car.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that's something that you had heard, or I was like, wait a minute, that's fundamental biology.
Hey,
It's frightening how clueless you have to be to have that as part of your platform.
well, Jeff, you know as well as I am that facts are no longer facts. If you think you can transition from one gender to the other, you're hopelessly lost anyway because there's no such thing. Gender is a DNA thing. Just because you hacked off part of your body and you're swallowing hormone pills doesn't mean you're a different gender. I was just looking at a news item today about colleges putting tampons in the men's room. So you tell me what's crazy these days.
Exactly. It would be funny if it weren't so frightening. These are the people that are running for the highest office in the land. That's frightening.
That's right. I find it more frightening. You had 10 idiots on the stage last night. I find it more frightening that there are literally tens of millions of Americans who think they're fine, who are willing to vote for them. That's what wakes me up in the middle of the night.
Right. Exactly. I'm right there with you. Yeah. I mean, when I heard that, I thought that's an oxymoron with emphasis on moron.
I agree with you. You going to watch the debate tonight?
I'm going to try to get through as much as I can of it. It's hard for me to watch blatant stupidity without getting angry. So I've got to watch my blood pressure. So
Does it strike you, when you watch Joe Biden on TV, does it strike you that he's almost out of breath, he's tired, he's ready for a nap?
Yeah. The times I've seen him, that does strike me. But I don't know. We'll see what they have to say tonight. And, I just wish America
as I say, it's right.
I don't know if you were listening to the start of the show today, but none of the moderators last night asked Elizabeth Warren, Faux-Cahontas, Liawatha, none of them asked her about her lies concerning some purported Native American heritage. Let's see if anyone tonight asks Biden about his son and the dealings with China, or the fact that before Obama was elected and before he selected Biden as his vice president, Biden described Obama as someone who's clean and speaks and dresses well. You think anyone's going to mention that to him tonight?
Oh no, that's all forgotten about. It doesn't serve the narrative right now, so no, I'd be really surprised if anyone, mentioned that. They're not going to call Elizabeth Warren out on lying about being Native American in order to get college grants, whatever happened. There's no way.
Well, who's the only
important question.
Who's the only journalist you know who will put that in front of people's faces?
I think it'd probably be you, Howard.
All right. Exactly the right answer. Just the answer I was vying for. Jeff, thanks very much for calling.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night. All right, item from Forbes. Headline, Trump's lean White House 2018 payroll on track to save taxpayers $22 million. Here's the story from Forbes. President Trump's White House payroll has 374 employees. That's 95 fewer staffers than Barack Obama at the same point in their presidencies. The Trump White House workforce runs 20% leaner. Well, you know why? Because Obama is a politician, whore, big government fool, while Donald Trump is a businessman. He lives in the real world where you maximize your revenue and minimize your costs, and that's what he's doing for us. Now, I realize $22 million is not going to change the balance, the equation of life here in the United States of America. That said, I wouldn't mind waking up finding it under my pillow. But the fact that Donald Trump doesn't take a salary, he donates his salary to worthy causes. He's saving us money, saved us $22 million here. We're getting billions and billions of dollars from China thanks to the tariffs that we wouldn't have gotten before. He's cut regulation. He's revved up the economy. There is so much green flowing into the United States, and all of it, my friends, read my lips. I know you can't see my lips on the radio. That's okay. Read my lips anyway. All of the money, all of the tens and hundreds of billions of dollars that Donald Trump is bringing into this country will all be pissed away and wasted if Democrats keep winning elections. All the progress we've made over these past 2.5 years will evaporate like smoke. All the problems we've solved will come roaring back again. All the people who've been helped will once again find themselves at a disadvantage. All the great things that Trump and the Republicans have done in 2.5 years will be laid waste, flushed down a toilet by the Democrats, whose number one priority is man-made global warming, which doesn't exist. Transgender bathrooms, anybody remember that whole fiasco a couple of years ago? Bringing in as many illegal aliens as possible. Raising your taxes, and lest I forget, the Green New Deal, which will be like tossing a drowning man an anchor. Item from Breitbart. Many universities around the country have begun to offer menstrual products in men's restrooms. This is what I mentioned to Jeff, as part of a campaign to support transgender students. According to a report by the College Fix, many universities around the country offering menstrual products. The tampons began popping up in restrooms after LGBT student groups urged administrators to recognize the needs of transgender students, unquote. My friends, I recognize the needs of transgender students. I mean the real needs. The honest-to-goodness needs. They need therapy. They need psychiatrists. They need care. And I'm not trying to be flip or insulting. These are kids who truly need help, psychological help, mental help. I'm not aware of any universities offering that. Instead, universities throw gasoline on the fire. Got a mental problem? Well, that's great. Let us make accommodations for you. Folks, I've presented quotes from two of the top experts in the country. Men who think they're women trapped in a man's body, or women who think are delusional. Literally delusional. And delusional people both deserve and need help, and I would love to see them get it. What they're getting is just the opposite, and it's a shame. It's a tragedy in the making. Young people's lives are being ruined by this PC liberal garbage. But at least as a man, I can walk into a men's room and get tampons if I need them. God help us. We'll be back.
Politician. Yeah, those things are all pretty hard to find. Let's review that. For a decade, we are an open contractor, offering our customers the best selection of highest quality roofing materials available on the market. After installing a decade of experience, the base for your roof is installed with considered quality craftsmanship. We also offer a 5-year workmanship warranty for all services at 5 for most price. Acclaimed roofing is only available to Kansas and Yates for the Nevada. Acclaimed roofing, guaranteed for the Colorado. Call us today, 303-592 roof. That's 303-592-7663 for a free estimate. Click the roof or visit acclaimedroofing.com. Acclaimedroofing.com. Do you remember the energy crisis of the 70s? A lot of people panicked. We came up with a solution. A best way to insulate your house, save you money, and increase your comfort. A best way to air seal and add insulation to your attic. A best way to insulate your wall cabinets, whether your house has brick, aluminum, steel, vinyl, wood lattice, stucco, or plasterboard. Even if your walls were previously insulated. A best way to perform energy assessments and the best way to help our customers qualify for self-under utilities. 43 years later, a lot has changed.
Does Simon own an encyclopedia
We're still family owned and
of motion pictures? Question mark. Think you would like such a thing? Question mark.
saving our customers money. Best Way Installation, founded in 1976. 303-469-0808. That's 303-469-0808.
Information you won't find anywhere else. Now let's show right here on KHNC, the heart of northern Colorado, KHNC.
All right, guys, welcome back. What, do you think we run out of problems and fiascos? No shortage. My name's Howard Real. The show is called Real Truth. Global warming is something you heard last night and you'll hear again tonight if you watch the Democrat debacle. Global warming, man-made global warming. Well, spoiler alert, no such thing as man-made global warming. The Democrats talk about environmental instability. Well, here's a clue to them. The environment has always been, will always be unstable. The environment is always shifting, always changing. And if the world is heating up, and I see a lot of places where it's getting colder, if the environment of the planet is heating up, it is a natural process. You've heard that on the show going back 11 years. But there's no money to be made in natural processes, and so whores like Al Gore are going to tell you it's man-made, because then they can get money out of your pocket or your vote. Here is someone named Myron Ebel talking about global warming being an agenda driven by political control, people who want to control politics in this country. Let's listen. Listen closely. Now, here is a guy, Martin E. Bell, who obviously is not planning on getting rich. Obviously, he's not looking for funding from the government. He is, however, an intelligent and honest fellow, and that's why he's on Real Truth. Continue, Myra.
Countries have.
The elites aren't wrong. The elites know that there's no crisis, but they can use the worry of a crisis, the threat of a crisis, to get money and power. They're not stupid. They're smart people. They know it's nonsense, but they're able to lie with a straight face.
This issues for decades.
Folks, we're about to hit a commercial. Of course, humans are having some effect. Are humans destroying the ozone layer? Are humans causing the glaciers to melt? No, it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. But if you're going to factor in environment over 12 to 15,000 years, you're going to lose people. You're certainly going to lose Al Gore. He doesn't stand to make any money over a 15,000-year course of time. But if he gets in front of an audience and says the world is going to be destroyed in 12 years unless you give me money, there are a lot of people stupid enough to give him money. And Al Gore has gotten very, very, very rich by spreading ignorance about the environment. Okay, segment finished. We'll come back. I'll wrap it up right here on Real Truth. Go nowhere.
Your home built between 1965 and 1975. If so, you may have aluminum wire. Aluminum wiring can be hazardous. These homes are around 50 years old now, using more electrical power than ever imagined back in the day. And aluminum wire does not get better with time. They are much
seem America is slowly sinking. Whose fault is it? It's not the Obamas or the Clintons. It's not Republicans or Democrats. It's not corporations, the military, or foreign countries. It's the Federal Reserve, a central banking system made up of private bankers that corrupt and control virtually all aspects of the world's money supply and the economy. All of the major problems in the world can be traced to the Federal Reserve and central banks of other countries. Hi, I'm Jason, the Colorado Front Range News Hour. Catch my show with co-host Brian here on KHNC 3 to 4, Monday through Friday. We sell gold and silver, the best way to protect your hard-earned money. Call 800-951-0592 and keep those blood-sucking bankers out of your wallet.
Higher rates, lower rates, negative rates, bail-ins, bail-outs, and so much more. You know why you need to own gold and silver. At the Patriot Trading Group, we're a different kind of company. We have no commission salespeople, no boiler room sales calls, no high-priced spokesmen. We believe in treating you with honesty and respect and delivering you the best products at the best price. Buying or selling, call us at 800-951-0592 or go to our website at allamericangold.com.
Item from the Hill. The Supreme Court found Thursday, that's today, that the Trump administration did not give an adequate reason for adding a citizenship question to the 2020 census, blocking the question for at least the time being. The move is a surprise win for advocates who oppose the question's addition, arguing it will lead to an inaccurate population count. Stop. No, it will lead to an accurate count of American citizens. Anyone who's here illegally needs to get the hell out. Item from the Daily Mail. The Dalai Lama has claimed that Europe could become, quote, Muslim or African, unquote, if refugees who've been taken in are not then sent back to their home countries. The Buddhist spiritual leader, who's been living as a refugee in India since fleeing Tibet in 1959, said only a limited number of migrants should be allowed to remain. Unquote. The Dalai Lama is right, and I am very, very flattered to find out that he's a regular listener of Real Truth. Obviously he is, because he's saying exactly what I've been saying. Item from the Rutherford Institute. In a ruling that gives police greater leeway to violate the Fourth Amendment rights of anyone driving on a public road, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled the police may forcibly and warrantlessly carry out blood draws on unconscious drivers suspected of drunk driving. Unquote. My friends, I see nothing wrong with this ruling. If someone's in a car and he's unconscious, you need to find out what the hell's wrong with him. And if he's drunk, you need to know that immediately and lock his ass up for a very, very, very long time. I agree with the Supreme Court. Item from the Daily Mail. The U.S. Supreme Court, no, we're going to go past that one. We mentioned it already. Also from the Daily Mail. Child migrants face dire conditions in border detention, including no showers for 8 days, no diapers, and extreme cold and flu, according to a new court filing. My friends, I can solve this problem immediately. Keep the kids the hell in their own countries. Item from the Daily Mail. A police officer has been killed, several others injured, after two suicide bombers blew themselves up in Tunisia's capital. My friends, the hell with Tunisia. Imagine this happening in Colorado's capital or in your city. Well, if you have Muslims in your city, you can look forward to it happening. Item from Breitbart. The Jewish congregation of the southern Swedish city of Malmö has warned that rising anti-Semitism is turning the city into a no-go zone for Jews. My friends, that's what happens in a city when your neighbors scream Allahu Akbar. Item from Breitbart. A mob in India beat a Muslim man to death with sticks this month after forcing him to perform Hindu chants. Unquote. My friends, there is no excuse for lynching a man. However, I imagine the Muslims are a little less obstreperous in India as a result of this event. I'm not in favor of acts of violence. I am in favor of common sense and sanity. And bringing Muslims from the third world into the first world is absolute insanity. And if it hasn't wrecked this country yet, just wait. It will, just as it's wrecking country after country after country in Europe. And on that happy note, I will bid you adieu. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. And during the interim, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay angry.